Hi guys and welcome back to the Blues Focus channel. Today for another match preview. You guys seem to be enjoying these match preview videos. They kind of come out just nicely before the game, kind of get you warmed up a bit. Some nice pre-match content. So let's get straight into things and let's talk about what to expect from Bristol on Saturday. Having spoken to one or two Bristol fans and what I've seen of them myself this season, I think they're an interesting prospect. Plenty of potential there. Very unlucky with injuries, and I think that's obviously down to slightly down to COVID and lack of pre-season to have such a long injury list. But we will get onto that list later on in the video, as it's definitely going to be a key element of this video. But from what I've seen of Bristol City, for me, they have no consistent shape, no consistent formation. It is very much a fluid sort of, I suppose. It's hard to describe really. It's very much a fluid way of playing football. No consistent shape, but definitely a lot of different shapes that have come from the training ground. You know, they can rotate between a sort of a 4-2-3-1 into a 4-4-2. They have a lot of versatile players in their squad, well-rounded players. I think they struggle in wide areas at the moment due to a lot of injuries. So I'll get on to how I'd like us to play them later on. But one bit of advice I'll give you a heads up about now is definitely we should look to play Bella and Sanchez in this game. Because if we're going to win the game anywhere, it is down the width of the pitch. But we will come on to that. But no, Bristol-wise, it really all depends on their lineup. But they do have some very versatile players in there, especially going forward, that can cause a lot of problems on their day. And I think they'll be comfortable this season, mid-table wise. But it's still very experimental under Nigel Pearson right now, as he's inherited virtually, Lee Johnson / Dean Holden's squad. And he's still not got his own backroom staff in there yet. So it's not going to be perfection instantly, really. But no, I think he'll have worked with the players quite a bit now. And obviously he's had one positive result, I think, so far. And then the last two have been difficult. But that is, again, largely down to injuries. But no, at the end of the day with Bristol, there is no kind of consistent what to expect sort of shape and formation. But style of play, however, is just very versatile, constantly changing shape, swapping positions, being able to cover all over the field and play as a team. And that's the sort of thing that we lack at Blues, that kind of team spirit and that chemistry. And I think Bristol do really have that, but they are missing key characters to make it all click. Because, we've seen with a full strength Bristol squad that they're in the top six all the time, but injuries always seem to let them down, particularly this season when you see the long list. But no, that's kind of a brief little roundup of what you could expect from this Bristol City squad. If there was two up front, though, you'd be looking at Wells and Jeju. But I reckon if there's one up top, you'd just be looking at Naki Wells, who on his day is fantastic, but Jeju does love a goal against Blues, as we all know. But yeah, no, moving on to, I suppose, what to expect from Blues. So with Blues, I'm obviously, you can expect two different formations. Either your 5-3-2 or your 3-5-2, whatever you want to call it. I personally myself would call it a 5-3-2, but I know a lot of people will disagree with me and call it something else. But hey ho, is what it is. Yeah, we could play that, which we played against Barnsley. It's not worked at all for us this season, except the Preston away game right near the start of the season. We've tried it many times since then, and it's just not good enough. Karanka's favourite formation this season and in his career in general is the 4-2-3-1, and that has worked better for us this season, but it's still not quite clicking. That's why we are where we are. But at times we have seen that formation really, really click. And I think if Bella and Sanchez are in the fray, we can really, really look to dominate wide areas of the pitch. And you know what? I honestly think this could be an ideal game for Juki, to be honest. Um, and I actually feel like he will play Juki or Cosgrove. Um, but it wouldn't surprise me if he went with Hogan, because Hogan's the more informed striker of the strikers that we have at the moment. But I do think a big physical battler up top would fare well in a fixture like this, definitely. So it's just a case of which formation really with Blues, as you all know. Um, but even then, the players that play, if Halilovic plays, he'll either have the best game of his life and will win 3-0, or you know the wingers will flop. Halilovic will have an average game. Harper will be left out a bit, caught in no man's land, and we'll lose the game 3-1 or 2-0 or whatever. So it really just depends on how the players turn up on the day, because mentality has been a real weakness for us this season, and we showed that, especially when going behind. Our heads drop. However, having said that, in recent games, like Huddersfield and Norwich, we've gone the 1-0 down and we've bounced back. It was a shame we couldn't do that against Barnsley, and I do feel like if we change the system, we could have bounced back. Because although I wouldn't surprise me if Barnsley went up this season, I thought on that day they just weren't actually all that. Neither were we by any stretch of the imagination, but I definitely feel like we competed enough to at least earn something from that game. Um, Not because we played well, but because we played probably as well as they did. Um, so no, that. It is what it is, really. But that's it. Really, yeah, it just really depends on which formation we go with. And personally, I hope we go for the 4-2-3-1. I think we've been more effective that way this season. Would it surprise me if you try something random or new? No, because it's been desperate recently. But we shall see. Um, Tough one to call, but I do think he might go for the sensible option and go for his more favoured formation, the 4-2-3-1. But we can only hope. So that brings me on to how I think the game could play out. I think Bristol City, their away form is fantastic. Their home form is dog poo, exactly like us. Our home form awful, away form solid. But I do think that Bristol could really look to hurt us, um, especially if they are allowed to play the way they wish to play. And I think the more we give the ball to them, the more they'll be able to do that. And we play that kind of drop back zonal marking rather than, a high pressure man mark, which I'd prefer. But unfortunately, we don't do that. And I think allowing the quickness, especially the pace in the fluid attacks that Bristol can build, could really damage us. We've seen that pace can damage us this season. But no, we shall see. They're definitely missing some key players in that squad that could really work in Blues' favour, and we could look to turn them over. But I do think we will play shit ass football. Like I think we'll maybe first 15 minutes, 20 minutes, we might go at them a bit because we seem to do that a lot at home. First 15, 20, play really well, go at them, not score, and then for the rest of the game, backs against the walls, and then nick something where you can. I do think we have the capability to nick something where we can, and it wouldn't surprise me if we went 1-0 up. Do I think we are going to win this game? No. I think Bristol City will be more confident and more eager. Considering recent form, and also their away form is very impressive this season. So no, I'm definitely swaying towards Bristol's style of play, being able to break down Blues. It could quite simply just be a 1-0 or a 2-0 game come the end of it. But no, Blues, I just think we need to look to frustrate them, especially down in wide areas. We need to get down those wings. Jeremy Bella can cause havoc if he wants to. Swap the wingers. I've been saying this for a little while now. I said it on the last podcast. You know, you look back to Gary Rowett's probably the last time he used to do it, but he used to swap around Cottrell and Gray a lot, and it paid off. We score goals. It just sets off the team, the opposing team a little bit. And I just believe we could do that and maybe take more opportunities down towards the byline and play in a late cross. And maybe that might help Juki's game improve, because I do think that might be what he's missing, or at least a small part of it anyway. Just anything you can do to support a striker at the moment in this squad is worth a try, in my opinion. But we shall see. We shall see. Anyway, moving on. Form and injuries. Bristol, no win in their last two, but before that, they had a very impressive win away at Swansea. Blues, obviously, we lost against Norwich, but the first hour was good. Beat QPR at home in a fantastic encounter. I don't think we were fantastic in, but we definitely deserved more than we were going to get if we lost. And I won't say no to 3 points. And I didn't rate QPR much on the day anyway, so I was happy to take that. And then obviously you look at our most recent game against Barnsley, not pretty. Unfortunately, I think that really is a downer performance, unfortunately, that really will knock the confidence out of some. But it's down to the players now to prove that they are fit to wear the shirt, and they will take pride into every game despite previous performances. And I thought at Huddersfield we weren't terrible. I thought we were better than they were, and they got a stroke of luck through an individual error from Harley Dean. But I do think we deserve to win that game away at Huddersfield, and we're unfortunate that we didn't. But we need to start winning games now, unfortunately. We've got a tough run coming up in the next 5 games, starting off with Bristol City. But no, we really need to toughen up and win a few more games now, because you look how far Rotherham are behind us, and even the teams just above us, they're starting to crawl away from us now, and we can't allow that. We really need to stabilise this mess. And I do feel that if Karanka loses to Bristol again, that really could be it. But it wouldn't surprise me if Dong didn't sack him, because Dong's neck is on the line too, unfortunately. I say unfortunately, I'm glad that's the case, but I just wish the axe would be swung, like we all do. But hey ho. Injuries wise, Blues have got no real major injuries right now. Cosgrove is now back from injury, as we all saw. No suspensions. Whereas with Bristol, there's no suspensions, but a lot of injuries to key players such as Callum O'Dowda, winger, Tommy Rowe, winger / wing back sort of thing. Molly Watkins, another winger. Nathan Baker, centre back. Alfie Mawson, centre back. Andreas Weimann, attacker / winger. Chris Martin, striker, and Jay De Silva, midfielder / fullback. Those are, I'd say, probably 3/4 of those are first team players. Actually, no, I'd say more than that, to be honest. At like 90%. 90% of them are key first team players. So Bristol are lacking a lot of strength in depth and firepower that they know they have, but they just can't utilise it right now due to those injuries. So no, Blues are definitely lucky in that regard, that we don't need to look forward to Andy Weimann scoring something like that, just some DVB. Wouldn't surprise me these days, but hey ho. Um, Moving on from that, we're going to look to wrap it up on a score prediction. Now, for me, my brain is telling me 2-0 Bristol. My heart is telling me 2-2 Blues. I say 2-2 Blues, but it's 2-2 Blues versus Bristol sort of thing. I say 2-2 or if I was listening completely to my heart, then I'd say 3-1 Blues, but that's never going to happen. If that does happen now, you can all thank me. Um, but no, I do think, in here I'm feeling a bit of a 2-2, but up here I'm like, nah, it's 2-0 Bristol or 3-0. Easy walk through the park for Pearson. I've said before that I do think Pearson could really pick us apart. And, if that's the case and we do get picked apart, then I think it's time to say farewell to Rightor, but I don't think that'll be the case, unfortunately. I think he's a great guy, by the way. I have nothing against the bloke personally. I'm not just saying that because of the bad run of form, but I just don't think he suits this job. I think there are better candidates out there that suit the job and the players we have. And he just wasn't influential enough from the beginning, from the get-go. And I think he needed more of his own players. So no, it is what it is, really, at the end of the day. But no, those are going to be my score predictions. Personally, I think I will settle on a 2-0 Bristol City. Unfortunately, but it is what it is, guys. In here, though, I will stay positive. So let's hope the boys can pull out a much needed 3 points and try and get a deserved win, really. And it'd be nice to win at home again. It's a rarity, as we all know. But anyway, thanks for joining me. I've been your regular match preview host, Tom. I'm sorry if I sound a bit down today. I'm not. I'm not down. I'm just very tired. Had a lot going on recently with work and stuff, and just general, really, just busy times. But things have started to settle down now, kind of football and workish wise. So hopefully I can look to bring more content to the channel for you guys. Like I mentioned in the opposition view video, we'll definitely look at that the possibility of bringing two ex-players together. I think that could be really interesting. And if you guys want to see that, then that'd be great. Just let us know. And then I've got another thing in the works. You guys might like it. We shall see, but definitely let me know if you're excited for it or not. But I will be bringing you a Birmingham City FIFA manager career. It's I've probably been it's been in the works for a few weeks, let's say that way, but it's just finding the right time and the right space to just record it, get it done. But once I start it, I definitely want to make it a weekly episodic series. And I just want it to make it the best quality it can possibly be for you guys. So you find the content enjoyable, like you do with the match previews, the opposition views, the podcast, the guest pods, all that. We want everything that we do on this channel to be the best it can be, and that's all I want right now. So apologies for any delays on content. I know I was a bit late getting the Bristol City stuff out, but that was just me struggling to find a guest. But then I was lucky to run into Patch, and what a video that was. Really enjoyed recording that, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. If you haven't already, then please go check it out. But no, thank you for joining me again on the match preview, and let's hope the boys can pick up a much needed 3 points now, because we're getting towards the end of the season, and it's looking worrying, to say the least. But we never lose faith in the boys. We never will, despite the up and downs or despite how they play. But at the end of the day, we just all got to keep right on, and that's where I'll leave you. So see you later, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.